we will cover some of the most popular techniques for creating smaller language models or SLMs. That there are at least three ways in which a large language model can be slimmed down, and let's take them one by one. The first one is quantization. And let's look at a picture to understand the idea, right? Let's say that this red curve had to be drawn, and it has obviously it's a smooth curve, so it'll require many pixels to do it. But if we wanted to save space, if we wanted to compress things, and if we were okay to give up this level of resolution, we might approximate it with this blue curve. Okay, let's this one. And so as you can see, this is nowhere near as fine grained or as it doesn't have the resolution of the red curve, but you can represent this blue curve with much fewer pixels, right? It is pixelated. So we understand the visual idea here. This one is a digital signal processing concept, but the same idea can also be applied in an LLM. As we already saw, these weights are essentially floating point numbers. And it turns out that in most modern LLMs, these weights, because of high degree of precision, are stored as 32-bit. But the idea of quantization is to take a very precise floating point number and to compress it or to store it approximately in an 8-bit number. Okay, so certainly you lose that level of precision, but you do gain a 4x in compression or in storage space. And some people even have taken 32 bits and stored it in 4 bits. So that is the idea behind quantization. Next, let's look at pruning. And we've all seen images of neural nets, right? A set of initial set of nodes, your output nodes, and then hidden layers in between. And there are plenty of nodes and arcs. And if you like the brain analogy, these nodes are called neurons and then synapses that connect one layer to the next. And the idea behind pruning is very simple. You just drop a bunch of these nodes or you drop a bunch of the arcs, okay, the edges connecting two nodes. And again, to use the terminology, they sometimes refer to as neuron pruning, in which case they are dropping a bunch of those nodes. And I've also seen it referred to as synapse pruning, in which case they are taking some of these edges and then they drop them, right? They're just not connected to one another. So in that sense, your LLM is not as dense as the bigger one, so the smaller LLM. Third technique, distillation, was very new to me. In fact, that is the reason that I'm even making this video, because this idea of knowledge distillation was seemed magical to me. Though after reading about it, I prefer the term teacher-student learning, and hopefully it will become clearer in a second when I start showing you the picture. That is very simple, right? We're going to compress a large model, a large language model, LLM, called the teacher LLM, into a smaller model, which will be your student LLM. And so if you look at an idea here, as you can see, there are two neural nets shown. The first one is the one on the teacher one is a lot more dense. It has actually 4 layers, input, output, and 2 hidden layers. And in this case, the student, in this example, toy example, we've dropped one whole hidden layer, right? All the red nodes have been dropped. And if you look closely, also a lot of the synapses are gone, okay? And this is the starting basis for knowledge distillation. That's how we get smaller, more efficient LLMs, by using a combination of these 3 different techniques to distill them from larger LLMs. Thank you for joining me. I hope that was somewhat useful.